On this week's episode of Falappi's Garage, we're going to be taking a look at my brand new John Deere S240 garden tractor. We're going to be taking a look at all its different features, how this John Deere differs from the ones you buy at Lowe's, and also compare some of the differences between this and the Troy Bilt Pony it's replacing. We've got a lot of stuff coming today. Don't want to miss it. Let's get into it, guys. What's going on, guys? Like I said, welcome back to another episode of Falappi's Garage. I'm Mike Falappi, and today we're going to be talking about the John Deere S240. Now, if you've been a fan of the channel for any amount of time, you'll remember the Troy Bilt Pony was, I showed preventative maintenance videos on it. I blew it up. We did a video tearing the engine down. Found out the engine really wasn't worth saving. Did the financial stuff. It wasn't worth putting a brand new engine in it. I tried to find, a diesel or a snowmobile engine or something to stick in there and maybe make a race mower out of it. Ended up not having the time, money, patience. We do not have the means to make it happen right now. So, anyway, that was never going to be the new lawnmower up there for cutting the grass anyway. So, instead of dealing with it, we ended up trading a Troy Bilt Pony in, no engine, no deck, no nothing, for this brand new John Deere S240. Obviously, didn't get any money for it, but that's what happened with the Troy Bilt Pony. But this John Deere S240 is a replacement for the Troy Bilt Pony. Brand new, 0.5 hours, purchased in full from good old Middletown tractor sales. So John Deere nor the dealer is paying for this review or any of this. So the thoughts and opinions are solely my own, no paid promotion. And basically the reason why we got this John Deere as opposed to anything else is basically the reviews were better than Cub Cadet. The dealership model had a better engine than the Lowe's model. And Toro does not make a wheel horse garden tractor anymore. So there you go. I don't have any preconceived, affinity for John Deere. John Deere's not paying any money. So this is a true, honest review. And we'll go ahead and see what this thing is like. So, yeah. If you're into cars, small engines, tools, any of this kind of stuff, go on over. Subscribe to Falappi's Garage. We try to put these videos out once a week, working on small engines, looking at vehicles, just whatever we can get into. So if you're into that, go on over, subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment. What's your favorite lawn, garden tractor, homeowner grade that's out there today? Is it something that's still made? Is it something old? And if you're lucky enough to own a vent rack, then, I guess that's not homeowner grade, but those things are badass too. Anyway, let's get into it, guys. I guess before we get too far into talking about the new mower, we got to say one final goodbye to the dirty old Troy Bilt Pony. If you never watched the video of me tearing the engine down in this thing, go watch it. It's a pretty good video. But as you can see, there's no more engine in there. Like I said, we were going to go ahead, put a new engine in here, try to get her running again. But unfortunately, didn't come to fruition because it was just not cost effective, because I wanted to gut the transaxle and stuff and basically lower the thing, put a live axle in it, and then put like a diesel motor in here or like a snowmobile engine or something. Just get rid of the whole lawnmower setup completely. Maybe put a rack in the front instead of this steering system. Basically, I want to pimp the thing out real nice, and that proved to be too expensive. So instead of putting money and time into this for something that I really don't want, my dream lawnmower would be to build a Craftsman 1036. But instead of putting the time and effort into this, which I didn't think would be worth it, we basically just signed a paper and signed this thing over to the guys that are bringing, or I guess at this point you already saw the new mower, but the guys that brought the John Deere, they're going to take this thing away and scrap it. So it's been a good 7 seasons with the Troy Bilt Pony, and I think now we're going to put in a good old, I'm going to put a in memoriam to the Troy Bilt one last time. I'm going to miss you, but it's time to be off to bigger and better things. It's sad, but it had to happen.
since the old Troy Bilt Pony's completely had all of its decency stripped away from it. I mean, it's got no engine, it's got no deck. What good is it? What good is it right now? Figured the least I could do is go ahead and one last time put her hood back on, so she at least looks like a lawnmower. Oh yes. Troy Bilt Pony. Moment of silence. So like I said, this is a John Deere, brand new 2025 model year John Deere S240. And like I said, this is a model that you buy at the John Deere dealer as opposed to what you would buy at the Lowe's. Now the Lowe's mowers are the S100 series. This is the S200 series. And the main difference between the 100s and the 200s lies under the hood. Now, these are the same motor, basically, or I should say the same mower. It's the same frame, same body. The only difference is these S200 series get the Kawasaki motor out of the X Series mower. So the X Series, they have a little bit bigger of a powertrain. I believe the X Series have power steering, a lot more hydraulic controls and different options for running PTO detachments and all kind of stuff, versus this mower. It is the 100 chassis, the one you would buy at Lowe's. However, you do get the 21.5 horsepower, 726cc Kawasaki motor branded here with John Deere. And the main difference between these Kawasaki motors and the Briggs motors is the Briggs motors are a 50-state carb compliant motor. They're made with a lot cheaper components and stuff, and they have a lot less horsepower to meet, California carb compliance and stuff. Whereas this is not as much of a, efficient, economical, environmental friendly motor as this one's more for horsepower, torque, and getting the job done, which I like a little bit more. Now, as you know, I'm a big Briggs guy. Almost everything I work on here is exclusively Briggs for the most part, just because that's what I know, that's what I've worked on, versus, this is Kawasaki. However, this does have a 24-month, 2,000-hour warranty, so you shouldn't have to really worry about any of that anytime soon. But as you can see, this thing does have a 48-inch deck. Up on the Troy Bilt, we had a 42, so you're up a couple inches on the deck. It has deck wash, and yeah, it's a real nice mower here. There are some other differences between this mower. I keep interchanging motor and mower. This is a mower; it has a motor in it. The big difference lies in the controls. Now, this thing does have axles in it. It's a hydrostatic as opposed to a shiftable. Obviously, you have pedals for forward and reverse, as opposed to having on the old Troy Bilt Pony, we had, the shift. You had a shift selector, forward, reverse, and neutral. And the other thing, the other one had a rear end in it with speeds, versus this mower here, all you get is old school rabbit and turtle with a choke. So it's a throttle lever, a choke lever, key on, and then you do have this engagement here to turn your blades on, or in this case it's a PTO, so it's not just for blades. You could pull the deck off and run something else. I think you could run like a snowblower or something on here. Also, it has a parking brake, and the real interesting thing is it has cruise control, so you could actually set a cruise control on here, which I don't think I'm going to be doing, but this is a pretty cool thing here. It has a mower, it has a hour gauge, it has a fuel gauge in it. And yeah, that's pretty cool as far as this thing goes. Obviously height selector's over here. This is a much better feeling height selector as opposed to like what's on my old, what was on a Troy Bilt Pony. You also get a cup holder over here, as well as they give you a little center console, or not a center console, but you know, you could put whatever, you know, granola bar. I don't think the phone will fit in here. I lied, the phone does fit in there. That's actually big. I think when I use this thing, I might stick the phone in there. But I mean, compared to the old style, this thing, the steering feels a lot tighter, the brakes feel a lot better. And the other thing I like about this thing, the seat actually moves. It has a lever to move the seat. So there's a lot more, you know, a lot more adjustability, a lot more things you could set options on here for the way you want things to be, as opposed to, you know, on the old mower, you know, you didn't have quite as many options for, you know, doing stuff. Now, granted, that mower we had for 7 years versus this one, you know, so this is a lot newer. It's a lot more expensive. I think the other mower only cost about $2,000, I think, which, being a Lowe's mower, that's kind of overkill versus this thing. But, you know, everything looks pretty good on here. So what we're going to do now, I think, is I'm going to get out the tripod. We're going to get this thing cold started for you, and yeah, put some gas in it and see how she goes. So to start this thing, I don't know if you have to put your foot on the brake, but coming from a car background, that's just the way I want to do. Go ahead, push that in, put your foot on the brake, throttle this thing, or should I say, put the choke up a little bit. It does. Ugh, I need to adjust the seat forward. There you go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This thing's sick. So like I said, she's a hydrostat. So you got the foot controls. Oh yeah. That's actually pretty nice. Then if you want to put your blades on, I like it. Take a little bit getting used to these hydrostatic controls as opposed to running just a selector up here, but I like it. That's pretty sick. Another difference on this old thing as compared to working on a Troy Bilt Pony is we go back to having the gas under the seat here, which I think that's pretty cool. Obviously, just like any car that you PDI, they send this thing with like absolutely no gas in it. Then that there, with the fuel gauge on, we're almost full. But I probably am not going to start cutting full time for like another month. Now, the one thing about these that's a little bit different, you know, you got the hydrostatic with the forward and the backward. You don't got a selectable neutral. If you want to push this, make it a little bit lighter, save wear and tear on the axles. You got to pull your neutral out like that. And that puts the gearbox hydrostatic in freewheel. Makes it a little lighter to push. You don't have to fight the transmission. And I'm pretty sure that's not good for the transmission. So as long as you turn the park and brake off, you can push this thing with that out. The only thing you gotta remember is whenever you go drive it the next time, and you can, I think, push this. It's like you're fighting. You can hear that you're fighting against it. Versus when you pull this out, you're not fighting against the gearbox to make it move. So, yeah, pretty neat. One last thing I'm gonna do, and this is no disrespect to this dealer, I'm gonna take your keychain and put it on my key ring for my truck. But just because this thing, you know, this is the last piece of Troy Bilt Pony I got left, and it's this, you know, kids and mowers don't mix. You got mom and the kids sitting inside the house waving at dad driving a mower, and then on the back you got this thing where it's like dad's running a kid over with the lawnmower. I thought this was the coolest keychain, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my last piece of Troy Bilt Pony and I'm gonna put it on a keychain for the John Deere, take the John Deere keychain and put it on a Keys to Hemi long bed. And then, you know, that way I'm representing you guys every day. The world gets to see the Middletown tractor keychain, and then I get to keep a little piece of the Troy Bilt Pony out here on a new John Deere. So yeah, that's gonna be cool. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this short first look on the John Deere S240 with the 48-inch deck. I know we didn't cut any grass, but like I said, the grass is still a little bit short. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use this thing for a couple months. Maybe in about 6 months time, I'm gonna do maybe a mid-season, end-season review and tell you how I think this thing stacks up to the old Troy Bilt Pony. Rest in peace, you know, pour one out for the Troy Bilt Pony. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about this thing. It's gonna be nice out here. Obviously gain a couple more inches, maybe get the yard cut a little bit faster, but yeah, I'm happy. I really like this thing. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this demonstration overview, you know, first look at the new John Deere S240. I don't know how much it's going to be in any videos. Obviously, I'm not working up here at the old shop anymore. We're down at Falappi's garage now, so, you know, you might see it from time to time. Obviously, like I said, I'd like to do in like 6 months, halfway through the season, maybe all the way at the end of the season, do a little bit of an overview of what I think about it, how I think it held up, and my first impressions of the first season of using it are. But other than that, I got to try to keep it nice. So we're not going to be hooting around too much on the John Deere S240. So for your viewing pleasure at the beginning of every Falappi's Garage episode until I decide to make a new intro, you're still going to get to see the good old Troy Bilt Pony rip past, you know, in its honor, you know. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the demo of the lawnmower. Let me know down in the comments, do you have a John Deere S240? Do you have the 100 series from Lowe's? Did you splurge on the John Deere X series? You know, and what do you think about your John Deere? Also, let me know down in the comments, do you know for sure that 100 series at Lowe's is made in the same factory as the S200s? Because John Deere says they are. They're made in the same factory, side by side. The only difference between the 100s and the 200s is the engine, but I've also heard rumors that those S100 series Lowe's lawnmowers are made somewhere else by MTD, and they just license the same design as the S200, so it's really not the same. But I can't really find a 100% definitive answer on that anymore. So if you know, let me know. If not, we'll keep wondering about it. But if you like the video, go on down, like the video, thumbs up, helps the channel out, doesn't cost you anything, it helps more people see Falappi's Garage. And subscribe to Falappi's Garage to stay updated on what we're doing, what kind of projects we're working on, what kind of events we're going to go do, and just see what's going on. But other than that, thanks for watching the video, and hopefully we'll see you right here next week on Falappi's Garage. Hell yeah.